Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's broadcast. Today we will talk about why a view other than the trend is no longer mentioned in the media as information to consider, but is thrown in the hoax pile. And why they rather prefer to follow the rules from Mein Kampf, such as that a lie repeated 100 times will gradually become a truth that people will begin to believe.
You are fired. Get the hell out.
Hello, I wish all of our viewers a good day and I apologize for my colleague. He had to leave for unknown reasons. So today we are going to address some hoaxes and myths. We can start, for example, by why people believed for millennia that nature has created only two human genders. Well, when you look at me, what do you see? It's clear that I'm an oranges. By nature, hair oranges grow on my chest. So I'm a clear proof that nature has created more than just two genders. It is the same as, for example, with white and black colors. In fact, there is not only black and white, but there are also 50 shades of gray between them. In other words, we have a man and a woman, and between them are many different types of other types of genders. So the fact that there are only two genders is clearly a hoax. And of course, all the genders originate in a natural way and are by no means various disorders of mental, genetic or hormonal nature. They are also not created, for example, by a genetically modified diet, drugs or vaccines, because all of these products are 100% safe and have no adverse side effects on human DNA or its hormonal system, because they are all very strictly controlled by experts who graduated from the best schools.
Či je na tom niečo užitočné možno na terajšom školskom systéme a či to fakt niečo dá?
Já se upřímně přiznám, nevím co. Současný školní systém, ten stereotypický, kde prostě někdo přednáší a ostatní poslouchají, je úplně k ničemu. A to neříkám, poněvadž si to myslím, to říkám, poněvadž to prostě tak je. Protože když to domyslíme, tak úloha správného učitele je, aby ta třída naučila toho učitele něco nového, když učí. Ne jen, aby ten učitel naučil ty žáky, ale aby vstoupili do společného procesu, kde všichni vyjdou z těch dveří a každý z nich, včetně toho učitele, budou mít novou myšlenku anebo trošku jiný způsob přemýšlení o věci, o který přemýšleli jinak, než ta třída začala. Poněvadž my jsme náš mozek a náš mozek je tak dobrý, jak dovede operovat, ne jak kolik faktů zná. Takže v tom současném systému, v tom stereotypickém nevidím nic dobrýho vůbec. Je to úplně k ničemu. Úplně k ničemu. Úplně k ničemu.
Here we could see a statement on the expertise of schools by a former teacher at Yale University, neurologist Dr. Jan Martin Stransky, who obviously doesn't know what he's talking about, because a neurologist is a practical scientist who is interested in how our brains work and how our minds are formed. So he clearly can't judge whether the way of teaching in schools is right or not. So everyone who graduates from schools where they don't train their brains to be able to think, just to memorize facts, is the best expert you should always trust, because such an expert is also guaranteed not to be bribable in any way and also has the truth, health and well-being of every person in first place. We can see this in every government. Every government is full of trained professionals who also have their health in the first place. That's why they are the best experts we should always listen to, especially when it comes to our health and attitudes to life. So in any case, we should never listen to non-mainstream scientists such as neurobiologist Dr. Joe Dispenza or Bruce Lipton, who come up with various hoaxes such as how we feel affects the production of thousands of chemicals in our bodies, which means, for example, that fear, anxiety, anger, hatred, and other negative emotions that the media does not spread at all reduce the body's immune system, and even our brains cannot think under the influence of stress hormones, because with the constant release of stress hormones, the blood leaves the organs and brain and goes mainly to limbs so that we could defend ourselves against an external threat or run away. And at the same time, the regenerative abilities of all cells in the body are lowered. On the contrary, when we remain calm and feel elevated emotions of love and gratitude, our immune system can be strengthened several times more in a short time than by any external substance. And that's why we always try to keep as many people as possible calm so that they wouldn't have to take any shots.
We did an amazing study just a little ways back at one of our advanced workshops. We took 120 people and we wanted to measure their circulating cortisol levels and a chemical called immunoglobulin A, or IgA. We put them through 4.5 days of training, and at the end of 4.5 days, we measured to see if there were any epigenetic changes or chemical changes that took place by their internal work. We found that the majority of people's cortisol levels diminished, which means they were no longer in survival, they were no longer stressed. But the relevant thing that happened was that their IgA levels went from about 51.5 to 83, right to the ceiling of what's considered high, and some people were up in the hundreds. Now, IgA is the primary defense against bacteria and viruses. It's greater than any flu shot.
So we don't recommend trusting anyone who spreads such hoaxes as, for example, Dr. Joe Dispenza. All this information was disproved by the best experts who graduated from the most professional schools.
Takže v tom současném systému, v tom stereotypickém, nevidím nic dobrýho vůbec. Je to úplně k ničemu. Úplně k ničemu. Úplně k ničemu.
Ja som sa zlakal, že či sa dá lyžovať.
After all, it is not possible for God or nature to create a human body which would not need help from pharmaceutical companies. We don't even have to say that. Experienced experts certainly have a greater capacity to understand the world than its creator. So, therefore, we should listen only to the experts in the mainstream media and other state-approved experts on social networks, and by no means look for information outside of these verified sources of information. Only then you will learn the truth and all the necessary information for your life, such as the fact that by nature there are more than two genders, and the intention is not at all to create more negativity and contradiction among people. This would reduce their immunity and at the same time divert attention from some unfair activities not done by governments, so divide and conquer is another hoax, and you can rest easy that it doesn't happen at all. That will be all for today, and remember that all the information you learn from state unapproved sources is of course just myths and hoaxes. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give me a hate and don't subscribe. Bye bye.